Thanks for joining us on Plus TV Africa. I'm Benga Aboroa. Senator Dino Melaye, who was allegedly kidnapped by unknown gunmen, has resurfaced. This has come in a day after the lawmaker's family raised an alarm that the Kogi West senator was kidnapped by gunmen. The senator had taken to his Twitter account to disclose how he escaped the attack and was in the wilderness for 11 hours. Fellow Senator Ben Bruce tweeted yesterday that Senator Dino Melaye had been kidnapped by unknown gunmen, but Melaye's aide Gideon Adeleke yesterday told the media that Senator Melaye escaped the attack by running into the bush and his whereabouts was unknown. President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, was on Thursday interrogated by a team of detectives from the Nigerian police over the Ofa robbery incident of April 5, 2018. According to his special assistant on new media, Olu Onemola, the Senate president was grilled at about 1:40 p.m. in the National Assembly complex in Abuja. Onemola, who wrote on his Twitter handle, said Saraki used the opportunity to reiterate the fact that he had nothing to do with either the robbery or any criminal activity. Recall that the Senate president was on Monday invited by the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, to report to the Force Intelligence Response Team office at Guzape in Abuja for interrogation over alleged links to the masterminds of the crime. Ahead of the September 22nd governorship elections in Osun State, 7 aspirants of the People's Democratic Party have called on the party to drop Senator Adeleke as the party's flag bearer. In a joint press conference read by Senator Olusukomi Akinlabi, the aspirants alleged that the candidacy of Senator Adeleke will further divide the PDP in Osun State. According to them, the PDP may not be able to secure the support of critical stakeholders in the state with Adeleke because of his unimpressive public conduct as a senator of the Federal Republic. The aspirants include Dr. Aki Ogubi, Senator Olusukomi Akinlabi, Senator Felix Ogunwale, Professor Adeolu Durotoye, and Dr. Ayode Adewopo. The other aspirants, Adejere Bello and Jide Adeniji, were both absent at the press conference but supported the call. A judge in the Osun State High Court, Justice David Oladimeji, yesterday ordered the People's Democratic Party governorship candidate, Senator Ademola Adeleke, to produce his certificate before the court on Wednesday, the 1st of August 2018. Mrs. Rashid Olabayo and Oluwaseun Idowu had approached the court claiming that Senator Adeleke did not possess the secondary school certificate as required by Section 177D of the 1999 Constitution and told the court to set aside July 21, 2018 primary election which produced him as governorship candidate of the PDP. The presiding judge said that being an election matter, it is my conviction that the public will not be uninterested in the proceedings of this court, explaining that the importance of the matter would make the court not to grant the injunction and one that once a matter is in court, any party cannot take a further step without the express permission of the court. Justice Oladimeji thereafter adjourned the motion on notice till Wednesday, the 1st of August 2018 for definite hearing, adding that no form of excuse from the litigant will be tolerated by the court. The Economics and Financial Crimes Commission arraigned Dr. John Abebe, Chairman, Indico Nigeria Limited, in Ikoyi Prison. Mr. Abebe appeared before Justice Mojisola Dada in a special offences court sitting in Ikeja. He was charged with forgery, fabricated evidence, and attempt to pervert the course of justice. Abebe was further accused of attempting to mislead the court by using fabricated evidence contrary to Section 120, subsection 2 of the Criminal Code Cap C17, Law of Lagos State of Nigeria 2003. The EFCC prosecutor, Rotimi Oyedepo, told the court that by attempting to pervert the court of justice, Abebe violated Section 126, subsection 2 of the Criminal Code Cap C17, Law of Lagos State of Nigeria 2003. Dr. Abebe's counsel, Dr. Uche Nwobike, senior advocate of Nigeria, argued his client's bail application, but Justice Dada adjourned hearing of the bail application till the 2nd of August 2018 and ordered that Abebe be remanded in Ikoyi prison. Dr. John Abebe is the younger brother to the late former First Lady Stella Obasanjo. The Nigerian army and the police on Thursday repelled an attack by Boko Haram insurgents who attempted to invade Jakana town in Kaga local government area of Borno State, which is about 40 kilometers from the state capital, Maiduguri. The insurgents, armed with sophisticated weapons, stormed the town about 5:30 p.m. Brigadier General Bulama Biu, the General Officer Commandant 7th Division, Maiduguri, who confirmed the incident, said the attack was promptly repelled. The burial service for former Vice President of Ghana, Papa Kwesi Beko AmissahArthurs, will today hold in the auditorium of the AICC between 9 a.m. and midday. The funeral cortege would go through some principal streets of Accra after the burial service before his mortal remains are committed to Mother Earth at the military cemetery in Burma Camp. AmissahArthurs died on June 29, 2018 at the 37 Military Hospital. Hardly a week after Malawi's Vice President Saulos Chilima announced his bid for the 2019 presidential elections, government has reduced its security detail, transferring dozens of police officers assigned to his office. Chilima launched his United Transformation Movement on Saturday in the capital, Lilongwe, and has vowed to tackle corruption if elected president. The 45-year-old former chief executive officer of mobile network operator Airtel Malawi Limited left the ruling Democratic Progressive Party last month, saying corruption in the government has reached an alarming rate. The sitting president, Peter Mutharika, has already been nominated by the ruling DPP party to stand for a second 5-year term. South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma arrived at the Pietermaritzburg High Court today for his third appearance in corruption charges relating to a $2.5 billion arms deal in the late 1990s. Zuma faces 16 charges of fraud, racketeering, and money laundering relating to a deal to buy European military hardware to upgrade South Africa's armed forces after the end of apartheid in 1994. Dozens of his supporters held an overnight vigil in the city and marched through the city of Pietermaritzburg, chanting support for the embattled Zuma. Some Zuma supporters claimed that Zuma is a victim of a politically motivated witch hunt. State prosecutors and Zuma's lawyers expected to argue over a start date for the trial. A lawyer for a group of Ugandan opposition leaders has warned that President Yoweri Museveni's 73-year-old is heading for life presidency after a court upheld a constitutional amendment scrapping presidential age limits. Previously, the law required contenders to be under the age of 75 and would have blocked Museveni, who had been president since 1986, from seeking re-election imposed due in 2021.
The court declares that sections 1, 3, 4, and 7 of the Constitution Amendment Act No. 1 of 2018, which remove age limits for the President and Chairperson Local Council, 5, to contest for election to the respective offices, and for the implementation of the recommendations of the Supreme Court in Presidential Election Petition No. 1, Amama Mbabazi against Yoweri Museveni, have each been passed in full compliance with the Constitution, and therefore remain the lawful and valid provisions of the Constitution Amendment Act No. 1 of 2018.
What happened at Parliament was a takeover of Parliament by the military, and therefore violated the fundamental dictates of good governance. And therefore, to us, we think we should appeal. However, we have been able to expose the mafia. Our colleagues who thought possibly President Museveni meant well for them have now known that the law was just about himself getting his age limit, and therefore ditch them along the way.
In an email to supporters on Thursday, Senegalese opposition leader and former mayor of the capital, Dakar, Khalifa Sall, who is currently behind bars, said he plans to run for president in February 2019. Sall is serving a 5-year jail term for embezzling 1.8 billion CFA francs, equivalent to $3.4 million, in falsifying documents. Sall has denied all the charges leveled against him and is currently in the process of appealing. It was unclear if Sall would continue to run if his appeal fails and he remains in jail. But he does have loyal supporters, especially in the beachside capital, Dakar, many of whom believe his arrest is politically motivated and aimed at preventing him from running for presidency in February. When we return, we will bring you the latest updates on the immigration border issue between the United States and Mexico and Russia's meddling in the U.S. elections and many more. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. And on the foreign scene, North Korea has returned remains believed to be that of U.S. troops killed during the Korean War. This is the latest move in the cautious diplomacy between Washington and Pyongyang. Troops formed a guard of honor as the plane carrying the remains touched down at a U.S. base in South Korea. Relatives waited years to retrieve the remains of their loved ones. The repatriation was agreed at the June summit between the United States President Donald Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un. President Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, has said his client knew in advance of a June 2016 meeting between his aides and a Russian delegation that offered to help his campaign, U.S. media has reported. Cohen says he was present when Mr. Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., informed his father of the meeting. He is reportedly willing to state this to the special counsel investigating into alleged meddling by the Russians in the elections. President Trump denies knowing in advance about the meeting. Some 711 migrant children taken from their parents at the United States-Mexico border have not been returned to them, despite a court-ordered deadline. U.S. government lawyers said the children were not eligible to be reunited with their parents. The reason given included a lack of confirmed family ties or parents having a criminal record or communicable disease. In 431 cases, the parents were no longer in the U.S., a court finding said. U.S. officials separated more than 2,500 children from undocumented adults at the border with Mexico earlier this year in a zero-tolerance crackdown on illegal immigration. But it was suspended by President Donald Trump last month after a fierce backlash. We bring you business reports after this. Do stay with us. And in business, the federal government will work with Google and other technology companies in the country to ensure that Nigerians have improved access to the internet. The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, said this in Lagos on Thursday at Google for Nigeria. According to him, this will enable Nigerians benefit fully from the great power the internet has to offer them as creators and co-creators.
At the Google for Nigeria event today, the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, in his keynote speech, stated the need for internet in today's Nigeria while affirming the contributions towards modern-day form of education.
It's impossible. We must use the internet and even mobile telephone. We must connect our young people to knowledge and to innovation all over the world. It will be impossible to use classrooms alone to train the numbers that we're dealing with today. Just to give an example, when we started the Empower program, that's the graduate employment program that we have, in order to access 200,000 people in the first phase and 300,000 in the next phase, of course we couldn't hold live interviews for people. We couldn't congregate that number in any halls anywhere. So we had to use the internet. We had to develop a platform which enabled people to apply.
As Google marks its 10 years of operation in Africa, it's once again introduced new product features in the country, one of which is the Google Station.
Live in 5 locations in Lagos, and we have just begun. These locations include the MMA2 Domestic Airport Terminal, Landmark Event Center right here, Ikeda Mall, the Palms Mall, and the Computer Village.
The Vice President also expressed the need to bring this same development to business places for a wider benefit.
That we want Google station or this station in the markets, in the marketplace. This is absolutely important because that is where the largest numbers of people gather. So starting with Computer Village, that's just great. But we are looking forward to access the internet practically in every large market space.
With over 45 million internet users in Nigeria and about 5 million Nigerians coming online for the first time in 2017, the need for internet connectivity, accessibility, and wider coverage remains essential. For Plus TV Africa, Amaka Okoye.
The federal government has approved an extension of the validity period of the Nigerian passport from 5 to 10 years. Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Mohammed Babandede, who said this in a report monitored on a private television network on Thursday, noted that the extended validity period would reduce the stress Nigerians go through every 5 years to renew their passports. He said measures have been taken to improve on the security features for the passport to enhance its standard and value, a move already approved by President Muhammadu Buhari. Babandede further said the new passport would cost more, but did not reveal the new prices of the various categories of the passports. Still ahead on Plus TV News is our roundup on entertainment and sports news. We'll be back in a moment.
And in entertainment, the Director Brand Communication All Africa Music Awards, Ms. Matlu Tsotsetsi, has challenged African governments and corporate bodies to support the initiative of AFRIMA. She said in a statement, "I'm calling on the government of South Africa, my home country, to throw her weight behind AFRIMA. South Africa will be sending a very positive message to the rest of the world and also eradicate the perception that South Africans are not warm enough or welcoming enough to other Africans across the continent," she said. AFRIMA is one of the big platforms where Africans can show passion through music and art. The main awards ceremony is scheduled for November 2018. The Music Publishers Association of Nigeria, MPAN, have issued a statement on the ongoing crisis surrounding the Copyright Society of Nigeria as the chairman started a one-man protest at a federal high court in Lagos following the leadership crisis at the society, which has led to the suspension of the body's license by the Nigerian Copyright Council, NCC, in May 2018. Olumide Mustafa, chairman of MPAN, said in a statement, and I quote, "The current suspension of the Copyright Society of Nigeria license to act as a collective management organization for musical works by the Nigerian Copyright Commission is one of great concern to us and our members. MPAN recognizes that the NCC's actions regarding the Copyright Society of Nigeria are well intended, especially in light of the fact that the NCC, under the impressive leadership of Mr. Afam Ezekude, has been one of the biggest contributors to the significant positive development of the copyright administration in Nigeria." After months of romance, actress Priyanka Chopra and singer Nick Jonas are engaged. According to the People magazine, the singer reportedly popped the question at her 36th birthday party, which took place recently. A source confirmed the engagement. Another source close to the Jonas family confirmed that his family and friends are really excited and they have never seen him like this before. He's very serious about her, they said. And that's it on entertainment. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo.
In sports, Leicester City will resist any move from Manchester United for defender Harry Maguire and instead hope to tie him to a new deal. The sought-after 25-year-old centre-back played a key role in England's progression to the World Cup semi-finals this summer, starting every game in the knockout stage. He played every Premier League minute for the Foxes last season after a £17 million move from Championship side Hull City. Maguire is currently being linked with a £65 million transfer to Old Trafford. Mesut Ozil has thanked Arsenal fans for all their love following a torrid week that saw him quit international football with Germany. Ozil watched Arsenal's penalty defeat to Atletico Madrid in the International Champions Cup from the bench on Thursday, but received the biggest cheer of the night when his image was flashed up on the big screen. Thanks to the Gunners and Singapore for showing so much love tonight, the 29-year-old German midfielder tweeted with a picture of him waving to the crowd in Singapore. Ozil sent shock waves through German football when he quit the national team, citing racism and disrespect as his reasons for quitting. German football chief Reinhard Grindel rejected the racism charge but admitted he should have defended Ozil. And in tennis, England's Andy Murray have been given a wild card to the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati. Live on Sky Sports next month. In Southern Open in Cincinnati next month. The three-time Grand Slam winner and former world #1 is set for a busy spell as he continues his comeback after hip surgery. The 31-year-old is due to play only his third tournament of the year at the City Open in Washington next week. He will then move on to the Rogers Cup in Toronto, and the Cincinnati wildcard means that he will compete for 3 weeks in a row before a week's break ahead of the US Open. Murray won the Cincinnati event in 2008 and 2011. Before we go, here's a recap of our top stories. The Nigerian police force says it has not received any complaint or report on the purported kidnapping of Senator Dino Melaye. Also, the Nigerian army and police on Thursday repelled an attack by Boko Haram insurgents in Jakana town and Kaga local government area in Borno State. And in Africa, a court upheld a constitutional amendment in Uganda and gives President Yoweri Museveni life presidency. And on the foreign scene, 711 migrant children taken from their parents at the US-Mexico border have not been returned to them despite a court-ordered deadline. And that's our news roundup of events. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Do join us and Benga Aboroa. Do have a wonderful day.